Joao Felix to Arsenal boast Modric worry addressed by Fabrizio Romano and Mikel Arteta to appear or to really have a conference or an open dialogue with the head of the refereeing department in the Premier League, that is Webb. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. And if at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Smash the black button, that's where the subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time we upload a video onto this channel. Now today is really a Thursday. There is a very big game. Chelsea versus Man City. Arsenal fans all over the world are going to be really watching, all having their eyes, all keeping their eyes onto this game because they'll be praying for either a draw or Chelsea to win. And how many times have I seen a London rival praying for the other London rival to win? And this time around, it's really vice versa. Arsenal, that have always called for Chelsea to be beaten, they are calling for Chelsea to beat Man City. Why? If Chelsea beat Man City, Arsenal is going to be 8 points clear ahead of Man City. If they draw, Arsenal is going to be 7 points clear ahead of Man City. Yet, Arsenal, in their next game against in their next Premier League fixture, they are playing away at Tottenham, of which I believe Arsenal is going to win that game of football. And Man City is really having a very, very, very tough game against Manchester United. So it shows you that all might work well for Arsenal as far as Man City don't collect 3 points from London. So let's wait and see how that's going to unfold down in the Premier League. But yesterday, Spurs really came back hard and strong. They beat Crystal Palace by 4-0. I watched that game very well. Aston Villa drew with Wolverhampton Wanderers 1-1. The other game, Southampton versus Nottingham, I've not yet gotten the result, but I know you guys know it already. But all that in the know, we are back like never before, and we are here to bring you the story of Joao Felix to Arsenal boast, because Arsenal and Manchester United are really keeping tabs on this player. They are monitoring him. They are putting in all efforts to sign him, to see to it that he really comes at Arsenal and really get the job done. And it's so much based onto the performance of Arsenal. Even Pep Guardiola, I think I'm going to bring out that quote in the next video that I'm going to upload on this channel, that Pep Guardiola liked the way Arsenal played, that however much they dropped 2 points, they never dropped the quality. And that means if that quality had a supplement of Joao Felix or Modric off the bench, it would have been a 3 points, and quality would have collected 3 points for a side known as Arsenal. So Joao Felix has really gone ahead to do the following at Atletico Madrid. He's pushing for a move away from Atletico Madrid. Now, we've been told by TalkSport and Relevo that Joao Felix has been left out of Atletico Madrid's Copa del Rey squad amidst transfer links to Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea. That is via TalkSport. And Relevo has told us that reports Felix hasn't returned to training with Atleti as he doesn't want to risk injury for a potential January move. And remember, he last played for Atletico in the game of Elche. He scored the opening goal. I think it was in the 67th minute, and he played 90 minutes. But right now, as things are really panning out, this guy doesn't want to play for Atletico Madrid anymore. It's like he's on strike. He's striking to see to it that he really wants a move out of Atletico Madrid, and it's forcing it. You know, when he scored that goal, he knew that Atletico might change their mind on how to really on whether to keep him or not. But he knew that if at all he continues to go on like that, he might go ahead and really have good days, apart from the injury problems, and then stop his move to either Manchester United or Arsenal. But for me, I believe Joao Felix, even if he scores goals, he doesn't deserve to be an Atletico Madrid player, because his talent is really in jeopardy. That's it. It's not in the right hands of a right manager. I believe Arteta and Erik ten Hag are really the better managers, and Pep Guardiola to manage a kind of quality of a player of Joao Felix, because he's really talented. He can play in the 4 forward positions of the pitch. He can play as a central attacking midfielder. He can play as a right attacking midfielder. He can play as a left attacking midfielder. He can play as a central attacking midfielder. That is Joao Felix for you. Very good, talented. he really fits the profile of Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta would love to get this player. But the problem is Mikel Arteta is still up and down with the deal of Modric, and he doesn't know when this deal is going to get done because things are really changing tabs left, right, and center every day and every night. So Joao Felix is really an option that Arsenal is considering, but the boost is the player is really pushing for the move away from Atletico Madrid. He has never returned to the training ground of Atletico Madrid. That is a strike, and I remember very many players have gone ahead to strike, and I've seen a tweet, I've seen an Instagram post liked by Mudryk. I think I'm going to go on and really let you know about that story, that he's like in prison and has liked it. So even Joao Felix looks like them calling for 12 million euros of a loan fee, yet the club is going to be submitted to paying his whole salary, all weekly wages. That is almost like really stopping his move from Atletico to the team that is really going to help him expose his goodies onto the shop window, and then get a reliable suitor to sign him in the summer. Because when Atletico Madrid gets money, when Atletico Madrid loans Joao Felix to Arsenal and hits the ground running, of which is a sure deal for me, all at Manchester United, this guy is going to blossom. He's going to come in and score goals, and then Atletico will get the money they want. That's why Jorge Mendes is pushing this deal a lot, to find Joao Felix a club that is going to give him enough playing time and obviously get a new deal or a new club in the summer. And he has only 6 months to really solve this. And if Arteta does not solve this in these 6 months, I don't see it happening in the summer, because it's really going to be hard. So Joao Felix is forcing a move out of this club. He knows that is really the next step he's supposed to take, because Atletico are really making it hard for him to move. So as he really thinks about that, Arsenal look like they want the player, but they first want to get the deal of Modric done. And Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to give us updates as far as Modric to Arsenal is concerned. Fabrizio, in his own words, via his YouTube channel, has told us that Chelsea has been calling people at Shakhtar and people close to Mudryk to explain their idea, to attack the player, but also explain the project they will have. That is what Chelsea are really doing. So what Chelsea are really doing to Modric, they're trying to change his mind, divert it, that don't look at Arsenal, look at us. But this lad loves Arsenal. And Arsenal has gone ahead to show that we are really trying our level best to sign you. If Arsenal had not made a bid yet, because they've put in 2 and they've been rejected, then Modric would have gone ahead and listened to what Chelsea is telling them, because he loves to play the Premier League. But for him, he's specific, wants to come to Arsenal. Arsenal is a team that loves him too, and obviously it has made 2 bids. The reason as to why, because one will come out and really relate this situation to Cody Gakpo, that it can maybe change in the other way. But for Cody Gakpo, the reason as to why he really never went to Manchester United is simple. United never put in a single bid. They are negotiating of really getting this player like on loan and really giving PSV money. In the summer, Liverpool came in through, hijacked the deal, and the player really went to Liverpool, but the player would have loved to play for Manchester United, and it has been long due. United had let down the player in the summer. They had negotiated everything, personal terms agreed, and they never really came in for him because they spent £85 million for the Anthony deal from Ajax. So for Modric, Arsenal never disappointed him in the summer. They just contacted about his availability. They called for 50 million euros. Arsenal said, no, we're not going to pay that amount of money. This time around, they've come in through with all the money. They are making bids of close to 70 million pounds. And I believe it's really one of those that is really keeping Mudryk strong. But Chelsea are trying to convince the people around Mudryk to sweet talk him and see to it that he really turns from Arsenal to join Chelsea. But when you look at how Arsenal is and the structure and the plan, Mudryk would have made a very huge mistake to really turn down Arsenal or snub Arsenal and go to Chelsea. Chelsea are really struggling. You don't know who their next manager is going to be. Yet every player's success in every club relies on who is the manager. If at all the manager that really brings at the club is having signs of really staying at the club for a very long time, then you have lots of signs to blossom. Remember, the amount of money they're going to buy Mudryk needs a manager who is going to know him, because he's really going to be like a white dog. That's it. So I believe Arsenal top of the league. They need Mudryk. Mudryk has shown interest to Arsenal via his Insta stories and via his recent 3 conducted interviews with Jacobs Ben and Zinchenko's wife that he really loves Arsenal. Chelsea have no way of really getting this deal done. Though the president of Chelsea, or the owner, has called the president of Shakhtar to come today to watch the game of Chelsea and Man City at Stamford Bridge, and they're really going to be having a dialogue before or after the game. Now, Fabrizio has again continued to let us know that the player at the moment is not the key point, because it's on Arsenal to reach an agreement with Shakhtar. Otherwise, Chelsea will have a chance to attack and try to bring the player immediately. This is an open situation. So he's telling us the player at the moment is not the key point, because it's Arsenal to reach an agreement with Shakhtar. So Arsenal have a very huge mountain ahead of them. Can they really demolish that mountain by really meeting the realistic evaluation of Shakhtar Donetsk? Because for Shakhtar, all what they wanted for is what the situation is. They wanted another rival club to come in through the money, to see to it that they really rival Arsenal. Arsenal, we are taking their time around because it was really a solo run for them. No huge club was really willing to go on and take the player. Clubs like Brighton, Everton and Southampton and Leeds that wanted the player couldn't pay 100 million euros for this player. Even 50, they couldn't. So, as it stands, it's really an open book. It's an open race between Chelsea and Arsenal. Arsenal need to go on and really break the bank to sign Mudryk. If they don't break the bank, Chelsea are really going to go on and compete them, because they failed to sign Enzo Fernandez, and Fabrizio Romano confirmed to us that they had really they had promised 85 million euros to sign Enzo Fernandez, and Benfica said no to the money. They said no to the money that they are being guaranteed by Chelsea. Now, when that deal is off, as confirmed by very many close journalists, that Benfica have really closed out Chelsea, and they've told them that if at all you want to take a player at Arsenal, if at all you want to take a player from Benfica known as Enzo Fernandez, you're supposed to pay 137 million euros. That's what we want. And Chelsea have backed out of that deal, meaning that they're having that money and they're willing to splash it on Mudryk. But Arsenal are really leading the race, but it really depends on them meeting the realistic evaluation of Shakhtar Donetsk. So let's wait and see how that is going to happen in between Chelsea and Arsenal. Fabrizio Romano is going ahead to throw us more light onto this situation. Now, you know what Mikel Arteta really had to say after the game of Newcastle? That they were supposed to be given 2 penalties. And I believe if at all they were not 2, 1 would have been given, because Gabriel Magalhaes was really pulled as he was really was aiming to head that ball in the back of the net. And then a handball in the 6 yards area of Newcastle, but obviously that really never came to happening. And obviously Mikel Arteta came out and alarmed, and his alarm has been really heard by Webb. We've been told by the Mail Sport that Mikel Arteta will get to vent his fury over the refereeing of Arsenal games in a face-to-face meeting with the PGMLO boss, that is Webb. Webb is set to embark on January tour of all 20 Premier League clubs, including Arsenal. So, Mikel Arteta is going to face Webb is like the head of the refereeing department in the Premier League. He's really a legendary referee, though he made a very huge howler of giving a player 3 yellow cards and 1 red card. So in the World Cup. So that is Webb for you. But this is really great to give Mikel Arteta audience and other Premier League managers to really talk to the head of the refereeing department in the Premier League, because there are very many decisions that are really made by VAR that are really ridiculous, because it's inconsistent. Sometimes it's a handball given, sometimes it's not a handball given. The incident of Gabriel Magalhaes, many times it has been offered as a penalty. If at all you watch the game of United versus Chelsea, that is the same incident that resulted into United conceding a penalty after Scott McTominay got hold of a Chelsea player. I don't remember his name, but he got hold of the Chelsea player and the penalty was given. Now, why don't it Why don't it be mirrored in the game of Arsenal versus Newcastle? It had to be a penalty given. For the handball, sometimes they find a way of calling it ball to hand. The hand is a natural position. But for this, of really holding a shirt of a player when he's aiming to reach and hit that ball, that was really a penalty. And I think Mikel Arteta is really going to come out and really do the needful to see to it that he explains that very well. And I think that Raj is going to be expressed to Howard Webb by very many other Premier League clubs, because United too has been suffering them, Man City and very many others. Inconsistent decisions made by the VAR need to be put up to a task, to be asked why people in the VAR room are inconsistent, because this is computerized and the humans are really making these decisions. They should be really consistent. They should be consistent on their decisions. So guys, what are your thoughts on Joao Felix boost to Arsenal, Mudryk worry, and what do you think about Mikel Arteta meeting Howard Webb? I sign out for now. See you later. First video of the day. More is yet to come. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and may the Almighty Lord give you and bless you abundantly. I'm out for now.